The other question that we are receiving are from viewers who watch the NBC 10 News segment on Fit Diesel's active shooter countermeasures programs. Where does our expertise come from in the active shooter countermeasures? Well, answers. One, I had a lot of CQB experience from the federal task force days doing high-risk search warrants, and that developed me well from a we call it tactical perspective. That name's used a lot, but it's just the safest manner in clearing an area with a team using good fundamental techniques. When I went to be a counterterrorism agent, I was very fortunate for those 8 years to be around a civilian instructor, which our agency mostly is ran by from the tactical or operational standpoint because they're former special operations personnel. This one specifically is a legend in that community. He was a Green Beret for much of his time, and then he moved over to Combat Actions Group, or also known as Delta. So I had his mentorship, and then he brought me on as an instructor with a supervisor who was Force Recon and a previous supervisor who was a well-trained individual as well, especially in shooting. And also he made me his lead active shooter countermeasures instructor as a part of the instructor cadre due to my passion for active shooter countermeasures and the study I had done on it from an academic standpoint on what are the trends which allows us to develop the proper response or countermeasure to all those trends, and the layered security approach, and also the physical techniques that I'm teaching people from hallway egress to how to develop a strategy inside that room when an active shooter comes in, or how to egress or evacuate the grounds properly. I'm using those top tier special operations techniques, those detailed techniques in a civilian package, which is going to give them the best opportunity to save themselves. So that's where the credibility of the program comes from. I was not just made by myself. Everyone learns from somebody. Everybody has mentors or a great mentor. I had many through the years. I specifically won't name this individual, obviously, but the reason I'm speaking about him is he deserves the credit. He honed my skills, and being around someone like that for 8 years is a long time to just grasp every ounce of knowledge you can from that person without doing their actual job. So my agency was stood up on those principles, and we work in an environment of small team tactics. Many times has to be by yourself or a couple people or a team of people. And that's where those techniques come from. So I hope that answers everybody's questions, from dietary analysis, nutrition questions, bridging, weight, and the credibility and the understanding of the background of the active shooter countermeasures program. I will say this, and I stand behind it. No one in this nation has developed a program. There are active shooter programs, but no one's developed one and said, I stand behind these techniques, and this is how you move down a hallway and leave and evacuate. This is how you evacuate the grounds, and this is how you defend yourself in a room. And here are the said techniques, detailed ABCD techniques, not generalizations, not a document that has a bunch of gray areas in it that aren't really answering anything, which the government's big for, and some companies who are teaching stuff are big on. They'll just say, like law enforcement does, lock the door and hide. That's better than nothing, but that is not a complete answer. And that is not doing a proper security assessment with a layered approach. And that is not giving anybody the tools to protect themselves at the highest level they possibly can. And that's why we're different. And we do mean that. We stand behind that. And beyond that, all those special operations people I were around, and I mean former special operations for people who care about that statement, former special operations personnel who became counterterrorism agents, many of those people are on my staff for active shooter countermeasures. So that's the quality of instruction and the quality of battle-proven techniques and tactics that you're getting. Have a great day, and God bless.